Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
And we're back. So we now are thrilled to introduce to you Natalie Forrest. Now, I actually know Natalie from the Second World Parliament on Spirituality 4 years ago, and she is amazing. Let's see here. She is a transformation mentor, a corporate leadership and teamwork trainer. Now, Natalie Forrest, Dr. Natalie Forrest, CEO, bilingual intuitive transformation mentor, corporate leadership and teamwork trainer, business development expert, and international best-selling author and keynote speaker, vice president of operations and columnist for the Los Angeles Tribune. She mentions that she currently serves as the intuitive transformation mentor, capitalized THE, which means that she assists people like us who feel that there's more to them on their journey or on your journey, to reconnect with themselves, to reconnect to self-love, self-confidence, purpose, and their true potential. This is why her insights into latent human potential come to bear, as some experts call it. These intuitive insights, coupled with years of research and analysis that go beyond her excellent school and university education in Germany and the US, leading to her PhD in history, have allowed her to create her own processes, all of which she works through herself, to help individuals and teams lead their lives and their teams or corporations in alignment with their purpose, potential, and skills. Thus, she's able to help adjust the trajectory of lives and corporations for the better of all concerned and involved. The only prerequisite is that we be open-minded. And so with an open mind, I invite you to listen to Natalie Forrest as she speaks to us about the topic, You Are Needed, Find Your Center, and Be.
Thank you, Sean. That was a longer introduction than I anticipated. So thank you.
Wonderful.
I want to switch up a little bit how we're talking, and what I mean by that is I really want to talk to you, especially the youth, directly. So I'm going to talk a little bit to the youth directly. I'm going to talk a little bit to the parents. Why? Because I'm a parent as well as an intuitive mentor. Also, as Sean has mentioned, I have a PhD in history, and I used to teach college, community college, and I emphasize that very, very proudly for a long time. And that's where I met a lot of young people and really learned about a lot of the challenges that they face before I had a child. So when I talk, I always move around. So bear with me. You know, I'm not much for sitting down, because that to me is just not how I talk. I want to talk about the importance of you. The importance of you, regardless of what your age is. So all of the younger people, whether you're 7 years old, whether you're 12 years old, 16, 18, I don't care. You are needed. You right now are some of the most crucial elements that we have in this world. What every human being needs to understand, and what I often get pushback for, is my honest belief that every single human being is perfect. Everybody watching this now, everybody watching this later, everybody who's currently on this planet is perfect. Now, that does not mean that you can't evolve. It doesn't mean that you can't learn. It doesn't mean, as Valerie was pointing out, that maybe we need to, work through some of our fears. Absolutely. But at every point in your life, if you understand that, as both Valerie and Maria have already said, We are here in God's image, in spiritual's image. We are here to share our spirituality on the one hand. And that means that at every step of the way, we are absolutely perfect. So put your hands on your heart and just breathe that in for me for a moment. Say while you're breathing in, I'm perfect. And then just share it with the world. Just for a moment. Now, a lot of people have a hard time understanding that, believing that, because they point out how there are some people that are mean, there are some people that are evil, there are some people who have more, there are some people who have others. Well, I understand that. Absolutely, I do. However, we are here as spiritual beings having a human experience. So we are human. And the first question then, other than understanding that we're perfect, that we need to ask ourselves is, who am I and why am I here? So when I work with young people, that's a question I ask. And a lot of outsiders have sometimes say, that's a little high. That's a little like philosophical for young people. And that right there, now addressing all of the parents, is part of the challenge that our youth face. Nothing is too philosophical, is too high, is too much, is too challenging for our kids. It's only when we as parents put those barriers in front of them. So if we want our youth to soar like the video that Valerie showed us, we need to help take the obstacles out of the way. That's a challenge for us older people, and I'm including myself in that. Because we know, psychologically speaking, that when babies are born, and we have seen that, right? There are all these videos out there. They think they are the biggest thing, the brightest thing that ever happened to the world. They jump up and down. They do all of these things that are just like exciting, amazing, all of that. They look in the mirror and they see things that remind us of this image. We may see the little kitty cat. They see that they are a tiger. They see that they are Supergirl, Superboy, Superwoman, Superman. They see that until the moment when adults put the brakes on that. So let's take responsibility for that. Let's make sure we understand that kids, the young people, have the power, have the intuition, have all of that. The fear that later on they need to overcome is being put into them by us. We need to be very careful with our words when we're talking to young people. Even when they're running down the street, the minute that we tell them, be careful, you might fall and hurt yourself. Bam, that's a brake that we put on them. Just think about that as parents and adults. Back to you, young people. You might be young in age, but you're old souls. That's why you are here right now. The challenges that we're facing in 2020, 2021 are new to many of the older people. And when I look around, I see you young people dealing with this whole mess a whole lot better than us old people. You are made for this moment. So other than understanding that you are perfect, that you have the divine spark within you, whatever divine means to you, you just need to claim it. You need to claim it and understand it. And you need to begin to understand that everything that you do needs to be you. I know there are a lot of peer pressures out there. Yeah, from the moment that you get to kindergarten and school, it's about grades. It's about who behaves better in front of the teacher than the other. All of those are streamlined ideas. If you trust your intuition, if you follow that old axiom, know thyself, and you love yourself. That peace that when you were born, and you remember those times, when you were born and a little later on, you looked in the mirror and you said, "Oh, I'm so cool. I'm so great." And now, my age, we stand in the front of the mirror and we go, that ear's too low. Well, what happened? You're here for a reason. What is that reason? The question, other than who are you and why am I here, comes back to one essential item. You're here because you're needed and because you have unique talents. Now, you may not know right now what your unique talents are. And that's usually because a whole bunch of stuff has already been put onto you. But whatever your passion is, that's your purpose. Your big purpose is being here as a human being and having a human experience. The smaller purpose is the passion piece. How do you manifest your passion? You can only manifest anything that is in true alignment with yourself. And it gets harder and harder the older you get, to some degree, because of all the social conditioning, because of all the additional pressures that are being put onto you. I mean, let's face it, young people. How many of you have heard from family members that this particular thing, let's call it job A is perfect for you and you are perfect for job A? Because your family has always had a company that deals with job A, so it'd be perfect for you. And so you go that line and you start, thinking, okay, I need to do job A. But why? You're not living their lives. You're living your life. Remember, you are needed here right now. They're living their lives. And it's hard for your parents to understand that. It's hard for older people to understand that. Regardless of your age, you are here right now because you are needed right now. And because you are needed right now, you need to sit down or walk around or ride your bike in order to figure out, who am I? Number one. Why am I here? Number two. And how much do I love myself? Number three. Once you have those three things, and you might need to ask a spiritual guide, a mentor, somebody you trust with that. Then the next step is to really figure out your passion and then let your voice be heard. You don't have to be an A student. I'm sorry, you don't. You probably don't have ADHD. You're just probably bored in class. And I'm not trying to offend any teachers or any doctors. But I know kids. When they run around, because kids need to run around. If you look at a lot of school systems, especially non-US based, kids actually can run around and they do great. The minute you have to sit down for 30, 45 minutes, it drives them nuts. They don't have all ADHD. They're bored. They don't want to sit around for the whole time. I mean, I just told you I have to stand, right? So maybe I'm young at heart. So figure out who you are. Figure out what you want to do. And by doing that, you will automatically, well, not automatically, but you will become a leader. Now, leadership is often misunderstood, and it's one of my most favorite topics to talk about, especially when I go into schools, right? Because very often the idea is, well, obviously, a leader has to be the A student sitting in the front row. And my response to that is, no, not necessarily. When I go into schools to talk with you all, to help you reconnect with what is so innately human and spiritual, and that's the love of self and the knowledge of self. I don't just look at A students. I look at the ones who are in the classroom and don't say a lot because they think a lot. And they may have a lot of F grades by whatever standards. but they're still there. You guys who are not A students, you're still there. What are the challenges that you chose to overcome right here, right now, that still have you in that classroom, whether it's kindergarten, whether it's elementary school, whether it's middle school, high school, college? You're still there, regardless of the grades that you're earning. What are the challenges that you have to overcome? That's the question we need to ask. So if you're still there, then I'm going to look at you, because to me, you're a leader. Every day, in spite of the challenges, you're coming back here. You are needed as an example to the other students, kids, and family members. From community college, I know that many of the younger generation are the first ones to go to college. And when they get back home, they have to deal with the reality of human life. So you are here because you're needed. Grades, even though they matter in society, they don't tell me who you are. How much money you have doesn't show me who you are. How many cars you have doesn't show me who you are. The clothes you wear don't show me who you are, because the most inspiring people that I've ever met are fishermen in Greece. They knew who they are. They knew everything about the world. Now, you might wonder why I put up this image. It's because I want you young people to understand how this all works. This is one of my favorite images. I love wolves. I love the idea of wolf leadership, and I will not go too deep into this because I have very limited time left. I want you to look at this blue arrow here in the back. That is the leader of the pack. In the back, making sure that everybody else is safe. Up here are the young scouts. So if you're sitting in the front row of class, you're one of those scouts. You're making sure that the older and the weak are going to be okay. The leader is in the back. So if you're sitting in the back row, not saying much, but observing, then you are like the conductor of a symphony, having your back turned to the audience, because you know it's not about you. It's about helping everybody else be empowered. So young people, you are perfect. You are needed. I know there are a lot of pressures on you, and I know you can overcome them. Go within and stay true to yourself. Suffering is optional. Thank you, Sean.